Hello, Paul.
13-32.
And it's Joe for John Gibbs.
Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hello, John. How are you?
Good, thank you.
John, I'm a little bit upset. I think there's something that everybody seems to have forgotten during 1996. Something that was very much in the news last year, but it just hasn't been mentioned this year. It wasn't in the news. You haven't mentioned on your radio. Everyone seems to have forgotten it.
And well, let us know. Enlighten us.
Well, what it is I've forgotten.
Thanks very much for your call, Joe.
Robert, good afternoon. That was our number. For John Gibbs, it's David. Hi, David.
Johnny, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Mate, crowd figures. No doubt they're down a little bit on the Super League issue from this year compared to last year.
No doubt about it. I think people are sick and tired of the whole business. Rugby League's had the heart ripped out of it.
Mate, I'm sick and tired of it myself, but anyway, that's enough on the Super League business.
Yeah.
Mate, how accurate do you think the crowd figures are when they release them?
Oh, very, very inaccurate, as a matter of fact. Sometimes I think they count the people's legs and arms.
Mate, I agree with
and on some instances, their fingers as well.
Yeah, mate, I'll tell you what, I agree with you. Well, wouldn't it be more accurate if they, say, counted everyone's legs and divided the total by 2?
Good on you, mate. Good to have your call. 13-32, David. How long would he have hung on, do you reckon? David waited on 45 minutes for that contribution. And the worrying aspect of it, he wanted to talk to you, John. They always want to talk to you, John. Well, you know why? Because you always say thanks very much for your call. What do you reckon you got in the HSC, John?
Well, what I was going to say is they should have counted their fingers and divided by 5.
13-32. Yeah, that's what we were afraid you might have said. Yeah,
Paul for Peter for Lingos.
G'day, Paul.
Chippy, how are you?
Good.
I've got to start off by having a bit of a go at Gibbsy. Is he still there?
He certainly is. I want you to be kind to him because he's a bit Graham-eady today.
That earlier caller that said about counting the legs and dividing by 2, he said he'd count fingers divided by 5. I don't know about him, but I've got 10 fingers.
Yeah, but we didn't want to bring that up, Paul.
Hang on. I said...
John, that's what you said.
Divide by 5 or 10, whichever the case may be.
No, you didn't.
Counting one hand...
No, John, you did not. You did not. Paul's right, you're a goose.
Yeah.
It's for all the one-arm men.
Paul, is that what you wanted to ring up about?
No, that was just to start off.
Well, it was a great way to start the call anyway. See you, Paul.
Better keep our patient listeners waiting no longer.
And David to talk to Peter for Lingos.
Hello, David.
Hello, Peter.
Yes, David.
Hi. Just a question on the Canberra front rower, Darren Fritz.
Yes.
Is he any relation to Fritz the Cat?
See you later. Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. What a deal. 906 8899. More callers online.
Must be that time of year.
He's dead set waited on since the start of that rowing race for 15 minutes to say that.
Wayne, he's waited on since before 3 o'clock. We said we'd ring him back, so he really is the top-rate goose.
Well, there must have...
I mean, in the goose stakes, he's graduated with straight A's, hasn't he?
There must have been somebody there giving him medication on the way through if he's been on since 3.
Well, Peter would like to talk.
For Peter for Lingos.
Hello, David.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
Good.
Peter, I'd like to talk about St George, but before I do, there's been a lot of talk about amalgamations. I think teams should amalgamate geographically if we're going to have an expanded national competition.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, David. The situation, though, is that the league has consistently said that it wouldn't ask teams to amalgamate or wouldn't decline to give teams invitations to compete in the Winfield Cup unless they were financially unable to fulfil their commitments, their salary cap commitments. Now, there are a number of clubs who are sailing pretty close to the wind because of the recession, but until a club goes broke, David, you're not going to see any amalgamation, and you're certainly not going to see any team drop out of the competition, even when new ones come in.
Yeah, that's disappointing to hear that, because I think teams geographically should be amalgamate, such as Brisbane and Canberra, Gold Coast and Illawarra,
Brisbane and Canberra.
North Pole and South Pole.
Yeah, see you later, mate. Very nice to hear from a dope like you. Back again. See you, pal. 906 8899.
Let's take our first caller on World of Football for 1991. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Yes.
I'd like to talk about this interchange system.
Yes.
I realise it was brought in for the best interests of the players at heart.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to work, I think, because it's going to take away all their attacking football and it's just going to be based on defence the whole time.
Okay, so you don't like what you've seen so far?
No, I don't, because, I mean, the girls didn't really cry when Georgie...
Okay, thanks very much for your call. 633 9000. Good afternoon.
Hello. I was out at Cogra yesterday for the St George Massacre of Parramatta.
Yes.
Now, before the game, when they toss the coin, does that mean someone picks bellies and someone picks backs and they throw Mark St George's standard up in the air and see which side he lands on?
Say that again.
No, Peter, it's a joke. When they toss a coin, do they throw Mark or Peter coin in there?
Yeah, see you later, David. You're a buffhead.
Ta-da, see you, mate. 90688.
Yes, go ahead.
You know if they're building a grandstand at the cricket ground just for hedgehogs?
Next call, please.
Andrew.
Andrew.
G'day, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. I was listening a couple of weeks ago and I won that Roy Masters book and I just wanted to thank you, and it's an excellent read.
It is a good read, isn't it?
It's a great read.
It's the most balanced, I guess, view on the whole ARL Super League situation you could get.
It's very good. Quickly, I won it by picking your nickname competition. I've got one for you.
Okay, go for it.
Skin.
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 All right, it's a current player or coach?
Yep, current one.
All right, if you hold on there, Carol will get your details and we'll find out what it is and run that competition.
Okay.
All right, mate, Skin. All right, so if you know that, 131873 from our caller, Andrew. Which current player or coach is Skin? We'll have a think about it during the 2 o'clock Macquarie National News, and hopefully one of us will come up with it. 131873 is the number to ring. The Steelers have scored another try in second grade. 8 out of 20.
On the blind, let's get on with the show. Here is for Mario Carl. Carl, good afternoon.
G'day, Mario. How are you?
Good, mate.
Good. Mate, that's just before the news, that nickname. I'll like to have a guess at it.
Oh, mate, good luck. I don't think anyone can get Skin.
Yeah?
Skin it is, yeah.
I think it's pretty easy. That'd be Terry Hill.
Why do you say that, Carl? Why do you say that, mate?
Well, Skin, Terry Hill, in the Crushers game a few weeks ago, he scored 4 tries.
Or how do you get Skin from that?
4. Skin.
Oh, hello.
Thank you. I tell you what, you've got it right though, Carl.
Yeah, well done, Carl.
Yeah, Stan, I think we've still got a cat bowl to give away, so we won't give you that, Carl. 131873 is the app and line number. Let's continue with callers. Caller Peter, we've had a good run this afternoon. Here's our next one. Good afternoon.
Peter, I'd also like to talk about the Steve Mortimer issue.
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
Giving the captaincy to Peter Tunks, I don't think that's going to solve anything. I mean, is he flipping his lid?
Who?
I mean, Steve Mortimer. I think...
well, he didn't give it to him. Phil Gould did, because he just wanted to give it to someone in the forwards.
Yeah, I think Gould, but he could have put Mortimer's head in a vice and hacksawed his nose off.
Yeah, that's terrific, mate. And I tell you what, I'd love to get a hacksaw to you. No, not a hacksaw, just my boot would do. Right in your big mouth.
Okay. Peter,